Hello everyone, welcome to the National Time. And as you know, New Year is coming now. It's just 2 days left to the New Year, and everyone having a new plans to go for the New Year parties. Some people are going spiritual parties, some people are going for outdoors dinners. Today we do have a special guest with us uh, who is coming from ISKCON and especially all the way to Pune, Pune to Winnipeg, and Winnipeg to Calgary. So he is bringing up a great uh, music in the evening. That's a spiritual music, we can say, where dance would be there. Definitely ISKCON has arranged a great dinner for you guys, and it will be a different New Year Eve for the ISKCON, which is bringing to you. And we have with Dharmadas ji. Sorry, it's a Sanatan Dharma Das.
Yes, Sanatan Dharma.
Sanatan Dharma Das.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So first of all, I like to know about you. Like your name is Sanatan Dharma Das. It's related to Sanatan Dharma even. All right. So how you get this name?
Yes. I was born as Siddharth. My parents named me Siddharth.
Okay.
The meaning of Siddharth is one who fulfills the purpose of his life. And when I met my spiritual master, my guru gave me this name, Sanatana Dharma Das. In
That's
ISKCON, whenever you have a legal name,
Yeah.
right? And usually the starting letters are the same. And after that, basis your starting letters, the akshara,
Yeah.
you do get a spiritual name which ends with Das, or if you're a Vaishnavi, it ends with Devi Das.
Devi Das. Yeah.
Yes,
That's right.
correct.
So as you told, your name was Siddharth, and your guru has given this name, which is spiritual name again. And how you come to the spirituality?
Okay, well, the story dates back when I was a 15-year-old kid,
Okay.
and I was doing well in all my subjects at school.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was one subject that I was struggling with, that was writing skills in English. And I would talk well, but then I struggled at writing. So I just went and prayed like a devout Hindu religious boy. I went out there and I prayed for direction. And what is that one book which I can read cover to cover in order to get some good writing skills?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I looked upon Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
The first thing that, the thought that came to my mind was, why is this book so big? Why is it so huge? So I
Mhm.
just picked it up, and this was, it was December.
Okay.
Yes, it was winter of Delhi.
Mhm.
And well, I read this book overnight, cover to cover.
Nice.
And that was the time when I realized...
That was the beginning.
Yeah, that was the beginning.
Okay.
And I felt that this is something that everybody needs to know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the immediate thought that I got. I've come in contact with something that's absolute, something that's profound. And I really want that this knowledge is there with everyone.
Nice.
And I started practicing the principles of chanting Hare Krishna, chanting. And of course, the 4 regulative principles which we follow in ISKCON, the don'ts, we call it.
Yeah.
Well, I was already doing that because I belong to a very pious family.
Mhm.
But I kept practicing this, looking for direction, and when I was in my college, I graduated from NIT Trichy.
Okay.
Yes. That was a time when I met my mentor,
Okay.
my guide, and right in my first year. And then I got direction. I got particular direction of how I can, live this particular bhakti as a lifestyle. It can be a lifestyle. Yeah.
As you said, bhakti, like when it's a young age, it's very difficult to go to the bhakti. All right, it's not easy to go for the spirituality. I had heard been many people that it is all selected by the God or something come into your mind. So when you saw the book, that was the first inspiration when you saw Bhagavad Gita.
Well, it was when I read the book.
When you read the
Yes.
book, when you saw the book, something come out. What exactly it is? Why it's so big? So something travel into your mind, and that make your career very easy to go for that.
Yes.
And I think it's more than 2 decades you are.
A practitioner of Gita.
Yeah.
After my college, it's a mandate. I wanted to join the temple immediately when I met my mentor, but then he told me you need to complete your education.
Okay.
And later on, I worked with Heritage Talmoric Machines
Mm-hmm.
and with Tata Motors as a manager.
Okay. Nice.
And post to that, then I joined the ashram. I've been a monk since the last 12-13 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the word monk,
Yes.
so what exactly the meaning of monk?
Yes. The word monk translates to a person who is exclusively spending his time in practicing spirituality intensely
Mm-hmm.
and preaching it to the common masses. That's the meaning of monk.
Since you were in your young age, you were inspired by things, and you moved to ISKCON, and you are going all the Bhagavad Gita learnings and giving the learnings to them, and you are a good teacher also. You're a professor for that, we can say, all right. And how you're connecting the youth these days with the spirituality?
Yes. If we were to categorize the problems which existed since time immemorial, they are the same problems that exist even today.
Yeah.
Like once there were a group of 3 youth. They were just walking up to me and coming. And this is one of the months of December where we distribute the spiritual literatures. We call it the Gita Marathon month.
Okay.
So I was distributing the Gita. So and I presented to them Gita, and they said, no, we were looking for something else. I said, well, just tell me in a moment, what are you looking for? So one guy said, I have personal problems, mind problems. Another guy said, I have family problems. Another guy said, I have job problems. I said, please take the Gita. Here's Arjuna, who is 3 in 1.
Yes.
He had personal problems, he had family issues,
yeah.
and he also had job related. He didn't want to do his work.
That's right.
He didn't want to fight. He wanted to go to the forest and become a sannyasi. He had job related issues. So 3 in 1. So I said, this is a solution to everything.
Yeah, that's a very great thing.
Yeah, because what happens in Vedic times, anybody wanting to do anything great, the first step they used to do was to go in solitude and control your mind.
Okay.
And Bhagavad Gita is a book that talks about this one thing, that how exactly one can control and engage one's mind.
Basically, it's a life. It's not a book even, it's
Yes.
a complete life.
It contains essential principles for a meaningful life.
Meaningful life.
Yes.
That's right. And what do you say about Yoga Bhakti? What exactly is Yoga Bhakti, and how you are performing with the youth and all people over here?
Yes. Youth Bhakti, you're talking about Youth Bhakti or Bhakti?
Yoga Bhakti.
Yoga Bhakti.
Yoga
Usually
Bhakti.
we call it bhakti-yoga.
Bhakti-yoga.
Yes, we call it bhakti-yoga. Because this word bhakti means the process and the means that connects us to the divine.
Okay.
Yes, that's called as bhakti. And yoga also comes from the Sanskrit derivative of yuj, which means connection.
Okay.
Right? And bhakti is the process. So when we are adopting this process to directly connect to the divine, that's called as bhakti yoga. Right?
That's right.
So bhakti yoga has 9 limbs, as explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And topmost among those 9 limbs of bhakti is the process which is called Kirtan,
Okay.
the chanting and glorification of Lord. That's the chief process. Yeah.
So when we talk about the chanting and Kirtan, what do you feel that when people involve into the Kirtan, it's like a same thing that people are reading a book, or people are having pravachans, or having other spiritual classes? How do you define this?
Yes. Well, when we talk about Kirtan, that's the very essence of having read all the spiritual literatures.
Okay.
Bhagavad Gita is the foundational study of spirituality. Then there is a graduate study of spirituality which is called Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes. And what is the conclusion or the culmination of Srimad Bhagavatam? It says, Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanastam Namami Harim Param. The final shloka, the final verse, it talks about the process of Kirtan.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the essence of the graduate study of the spirituality. So reading, having attended all lectures, what is the take home? What are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
Because if you read there's a Purana called Brihad Naradiya Purana.
Yes.
And that Puran says, Harer Nama Iva Kevalam. Kalau Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Gatiranyatha. And whenever something is spoken 3 times, that means emphatic. It's been very emphatic and emphasizing this point that Harer Nama, which means the names of Lord, into 3.
Into 3, yes.
Kevalam, only. And even the word Eva means only. So only, when that repeats twice.
That's right.
And Kalau Nasti, in the age of Kali, we are living in the age of this quarrel and hypocrisy. In Kali, Na Asti, that means there is no other way than this process of chanting.
So you got your mentor, and now you are also a mentor.
Yeah.
So how many youth you have connected with you on the path of spirituality, we would say?
Yes. Well, we can't count them in numbers.
No, I know.
There are many.
I know.
So we have many youth who have gone through our contact programs, as in we take a lot of contact programs where the youth come in touch with these spiritual knowledge, and then we go through certified courses.
Okay.
I've taken courses like Gita, the Art of Life, Bhagavatam, the Matchless Gift, presenting spirituality in a very acceptable and relevant, in a way that's relevant, so people accept it.
Okay.
So having gone through this, and then finally when they solidify, their understanding is condensed, then we take them to different programs like Bhakti Shastri, bhakti-yoga. So we have this contact, cultivate and care programs.
Okay.
We call it the 3C program for the youth. And like many youth have been fortunate to have gone through this particular journey of theirs, and still it's happening. It's going on.
So everyone having some real memories. So from last 2 decades, you are connected with this ISKCON. You are doing so many great work on this. Anything which touches your heart personally? Any experience of like that?
Yes. One thing that has always touched my heart is the sacrifices that our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, made to write his books, to single-handedly start this revolutionary movement and preach this Krishna consciousness all over this world. So his journey is very wonderfully written and illustrated in his Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit, which is written by his very illustrious disciple, His Holiness Satswarup Das Goswami. So he writes it, and that the sacrifices that he has made is something that really fuels us to be. Of course, we can never be like him. He is glorious, but we can at least be like a grandchild.
Trying to go for the path,
Just try to walk.
Yeah.
There's something called Anukaran and Anusaran.
Anusaran, yes.
Yes. So Anukaran is to imitate an Acharya and just try to burn yourself out. We can't do that.
Yeah.
But Anusaran is trying to follow the Acharya in principle.
That's
That
right.
is something we get inspiration to do.
That's right.
Yes, so that is something which has always been touching to my heart, and each time I personally, my gratitude, my love, my dedication for Srila Prabhupada keeps growing every year. That's what I see as a sign of advancement.
As I told you, ISKCON is organizing a beautiful evening and a New Year day also. So Sanatan Dharma Das Prabhu would be there. He's performing a Kirtan over there on the 31st evening, and he'll be there also on the 1st January of 2026. So what will be the special things you are performing in the Kirtan? Just in curiosity.
Well,
It's a God's name, I know, it's a chanting of God's name, but what's it different?
Well, I'll tell you as well as the viewers
Yes,
of
please.
this what is going to be special. Of course, chanting the God's name is the most special
That's the
thing
most
that
special
you will
thing,
do. You can do. But how we'll create, because normally I don't plan, I don't rehearse any kids. I have a degree from Trinity School of Music, London.
Okay.
Right. So I have studied my Western classical guitar,
Okay.
and there'll be guitars.
That's the main thing, which we want to reveal from you.
So we're going to definitely have. I'll be doing some kirtans on the guitar, and some kirtans on the harmonium.
Okay.
And we have a very wonderful group of devotees who assist the kirtan in terms of singing, the harmonics. So there's going to be a lot of involvement with the youth of Calgary.
That's the main thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they are all going to be on the dais, and we are going to be doing it together.
Nice.
Yes. So this kirtans, they're going to be special. Reason being is, it's the devotees coming together to perform
That's right.
the kirtan for the pleasure of Lord. That's why they're going to be special instruments.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's your message for all the viewers today?
Well, the message for all the viewers is now it's time that we conclude our 2025. And the best way to conclude anything is by taking the name of Lord. And at the same time, we're going to start something new. We're going to have a new beginning, 2026. And the best thing that we can ever do is to start it with the names of God. So make yourself doubly fortunate. Yes, fortune into 2x by coming both the days and allowing us to serve all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. As Prabhu said, you must come on 31st and first night, and we'll invite him again to the studio. He is here for next week. Then we'll have more talks in details. Today he is very short time, and we are thankful to him that he came and blessed us and gave all the information to our viewers who just want to come on ISKCON on 31st Eve and 1st of January. So let's start your year with the God's name, and let's chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.